Number 5, 1 over 3 raised to some power, let's call it x, is equal to 27. Again, whatever the base number is, I want to see if I can rewrite the other term with that same base. If you're not familiar with these, I went ahead and opened up power table. You just do a Google search power table. We have a base of 3, so I'm looking for 3 to some power. That gives me 27. And I see 3 to the third. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this as 3 to the third. I want it to be 1 over 3, so I can just do the same thing by moving it to the opposite location. And when I move it down, it becomes a negative 3. Now, 1 does not have a power, but you can write 1 to any power and it stays 1. So like, even if I wanted to, I could put a negative 3 up here. It would not change that at all. It still just be 1, and I'll still have a 1 up there. So we can rewrite, when you have a fraction, 1 over, if they both have the same, you can just write it to the outside. Okay, so now I got the 1 over 3 to an x power, so that x has to be negative 3. And then this one, we want to write the domain in interval notation. So when we are dealing with square root, the restriction is whatever you take the square root, it has to be positive. It's even. So you start with whatever's under the square root only, and we say domain is this expression, 16 minus x has to be greater than or equal to 0, and then we just solve for x. I will subtract 16 from both sides, and then that would leave me with domain is negative x greater than or equal to negative 16. Can't have a negative exponent, so we're going to divide by negative 1. In doing so, we get domain, and negative divided by negative is positive. Now, since we changed signs, this inequality sign also flips, and that would be 16. So we get x has to be less than or equal to 16. And so here's my domain. If we do a number line, and we have our variable on the left, this arrow points in the right direction. So let's say this is 0. We got positive 16 over here. It's pointing that way. Equal to means I include 16, so that's the same thing as a bracket. And we are getting all the numbers this way, all the way to negative infinity. So negative infinity, infinity will always be in parentheses. If you have equal to, it will be in a bracket. So our domain is negative infinity, parenthesis, to positive 16, square bracket.